Someone recently in a video asked, why was Robyn so special? Why does Cody love her so much more than he loves the other wives? And I think that it is a good question to discuss, but I think it also isn't quite accurate because I do think that Cody cares greatly about Robyn. I don't think that any woman on earth could have substituted in for Robyn. They definitely have some chemistry, but I think there's also a lot of other factors. When she joined the family, he was a middle-aged man. He had 12 kids with one on the way. He had 3 wives. They had gone through 3 bankruptcies at that point. I think he was having a midlife crisis. And having more wives is seen as a good thing in his religion. He says in the very first episode or a couple episodes that if you're good with one wife, they let you have another. And I've obviously been good or something like that. And so getting a 4th wife was a little bit like getting his 4th gold medal. He had earned it. The church let him have one. And he very clearly, he referred to her as his decent model, his pretty model, his younger wife. They all referred to her kind of as a trophy wife, stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with a husband thinking his wife is beautiful, but he definitely saw her as this like, haha, I've still got it. And I think that he was tired. I mean, there's a reason why many of us have said we wouldn't have polygamy even if it was a cultural norm in the society we grew up with. Even men say that it's just too complicated. They don't want multiple relationships. They like having one partner and navigating with one partner. And they don't want 13 or 12 kids. Or even many people don't want 6 kids. You want 6 kids, you have 12 kids, that's fine. I'm just saying it's not the majority. It's not all people. But I think that for Cody especially was exhausted. I think he was tired. I think he was kind of sick of this life. And he had a way that he could have a midlife crisis without actually having to lose anything at the time. He could just get a new wife. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, no. He is much closer with Robyn's kids than he was with his own kids. But if you go back and watch, he was crazy about Logan. He didn't want Logan to move out. He kept trying to get Logan to move back in. When they built Janelle's house, he's like, we got to have a bedroom for Logan. He felt the same way when Aspen moved out. He kept trying to get Aspen to move back in. Remember, Maddie left and he went to go kind of hunt her down and was like, I want some one-on-one time. He loved these kids. He was obsessed with them. It was only when people talk about Cody wanting them to move out at 18, that was only Gabe and Garrison. I'm so sorry to them, but that was just about COVID. The rest of the time, he did want these kids to leave. Christine, from what I understand, did tell her kids, if you're 18, you need to kind of figure out your life. That was a little different situation. That wasn't the case with Janelle. All of that. Okay. So I think that at least some of this was about timing. When he went on a Mormon mission, straight, normal, whatever, I don't know what term you want to call it, LDS mission. He comes back, his family's converted to a different denomination that has more in common with, the AUB and LDS have more in common than, say, like Catholicism does. But it's still a pretty big difference. His dad has taken on, they have become polygamous, and he converts and then gets married within a very short period of time. I think within 2 years, and then gets another wife within a few more years. I don't know if this guy ever really made the decisions with a clear head. Much, much later, he brings in Robyn. And Robyn has the advantage of already being able to see every frustration he has with every other wife. I think the other wives tried to have a really authentic relationship with him. And I think that Robyn I do not think she is submissive, but she makes him think that she's submissive. Every single time people are like, well, she only gets to stay because she's submissive and does whatever he wants. There's no evidence that she's doing everything he wants. There's far more evidence that he is doing everything she wants, by far. If we were to make that argument in a court of law, there's a lot more evidence that he's bending to her will than she is bending to his. But she tells him she's bending to his. And that seems to fit him really well. It seems that she also had the benefit of she only had to kind of be better than his other wives who had all been around for 20 years and expected him to be an equal partner, where she came in with this whole best customer attitude. She only had to be the best wife 1 out of 4 days and later on 1 out of 3 days. I think that maybe they are. Now, remember, I said at the beginning, I don't think it's just circumstances. I do also think that they are compatible. I think that they share a lot of things. He has been trying, they've gone through 3 bankruptcies. She shows up at the same time money does, and she's like, spend that money, boy, take care of yourself, buy whatever you want. And I think they're more compatible for his new ritzy lifestyle as a reality TV star. So I don't think it is just, I would be curious to know if she had been his second wife, would they still be as compatible now as they now after 30 years as they are now after 14 years or something? Does the fact that she always had the other wives to blame, does that change the relationship? Or would they have had the same struggles, having to go through all those lean years and not having enough money for a lot of things? Would that have changed their relationship? I don't know. I can't speak to it. But I think when we just place it, if we ignore all the other context around the relationship, I think we're doing a disservice to the discussion.